Hey guys, back again with another video, and this time I'm actually here with one of my teammates to do a deck profile, and his name is.
Hello everybody, my name's Neon. So for today's deck profile, we got Kageros, the Great. Okay, there we go. I've done a couple of deck profiles with it, but this is the most updated one that we have ever done. Oh, my bad. So, let's get right to it. So for starters, we got my starter, Wyvern Kid Lagra. The usual, draw a card when it's rolled upon. And then next, for my triggers, I play six draws. Now, where is 6-1? There it is. So I play 6 draws because since I discard a lot of cards from my hand, I'm gonna need resources, and I waste a lot of them. So yeah, 6 draws is pretty good. Next, for my criticals, I play 6 criticals. Pretty explanatory. To deal damage, I used to play 8, but then draws are important, sadly. For my heal triggers, I play 2 of the normal ones and 2 of the effect ones. What was her name? Dragon Dancer Natasha. Wow, that's more easy to say than I thought. So his effect states that if I'm at a grade 2 or lower, no. If I did not ride into a grade 3 or greater, my bad, and I use this card to block with, I can either give my Vanguard 10,000 power or -2 crit to one of my opponent's units. It's really good for rushers. I've always recommended 2, depending on the deck you're playing, maybe 4. God damn. I'm always shaking the camera, aren't I? Next, I play 4 copies of Lava Flow Dragon. So the effect states that if I have more rear guards than my opponents, it gets 5k. And I'm able to look at the top 5 cards in my deck to grab a grade 3. And with this deck, I play a lot of grade 3, so it's very essential for me to get this because it gives me options. Next, I play 4 copies of Dragonic Heat Chat. Has a really cool Vanguard ability. When rolled upon, I can look at the top 5, and if there's a grade 3, I get to add it for free. So that's already really good. And with the second effect, one place I'm able to counter blast and soul blast one to draw and retire. So the cool thing is I can just use this as a draw and not retire. But if I do get to retire, then that's a plus. So it's really good. Speaking of good, I play 4 copies of Irma. So what he does is that when it boosts, the unit gets 3k power. Oh no, this unit gets 3k power. And every time I retire, I could just kill itself and countercharge and draw. So yeah, this card's not used a lot in many Kagero decks, but I still use it. Next, I play 4 copy of Break Breath Dragon. Its ability states that on Vanguard Circle, when it's rolled upon, I get to choose a rear guard and retire it. But if I didn't do any, I get to just draw a card. So that's already nifty in case I'm going up against like people who use rear guards or some shit like that. And at the end of battle attacks, if rear guard was retired, I get to kill itself and draw a card. So yeah, a lot of my units sacrifice themselves for the greater good. Next is 4 copies of Torrid Cannon Dragon. Now what this bad boy does is that he allows me to counterblast 1 to put a, what is this? Grade 2 or less rear guard. Oh fuck, never mind. I'm sorry. Not grade 2 or less, put a normal unit for my drop zone at the bottom of the deck. And by doing so, I get to retire a grade 2 or less. And if I happen to have 4 or less cards in my hand, I get to draw a card. So yeah, I'm gonna need all the draws I need because my hand's gonna be pretty low at the end of every match. And for this, I played 2 copies of Berserker Dragon, OG card, when placed on Vanguard or Rearguard, I get to counterblast and Soul Blast one to kill a Rearguard. And if it was on Vanguard circle, I get to draw a card. And when it attacks, if I have more Rearguards, it gets 3k power. So very useful. I wouldn't play more than 4 because of how like old it is, but it's still good being played too. And yeah, I really like it. Now time for the main boy. 4 copies of DDD, or Dauntless Drive Dragon. I like calling it DDD. So for any of y'all who doesn't know what this does, it has an ability where at the end of battle it attacks. If all my drive checks were just normal units, I get to give one of my rearguards 2,000 power. So if I don't get a trigger, that's fine. It's I'll still give something power. And at the end of battle attacks, I'm able to discard 3 cards from my hand to stand this bad boy. I do need 4 cards in my hand to use it or more, but that's fine. It's easy money, in my opinion. And the greatest effect of all, when rolled upon by a Vanguard, it basically gets all the effect of this card. So if I get to write it over any other grade 3, it gets the following effects I just mentioned. And the cool thing I like about this card is that if I just stack it over another DDD, I can just go ham and like do like multiple copies effects. I'll get into that later. I play 4 copies of Blazing Flare Dragon. This card is honestly really cool. I'm able to Soul Blast as many cards as I want, and I can kill my opponent's rearguards off for each Soul Blasted. And if this card's on a Vanguard circle, if I had Soul Blasted 5, I get to get rid of their markers, which is pretty cool. And when it attacks, I get the Soul Charge automatically. But if my opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, and they have no rearguards, it gets 10k power. So really good beater, as well as a retire. And now time for the side boss. 3 copies of Dragonic Lawkeeper. I do know people like to do Blade Master or like run that new Dragonic Overlord Rebirth like mechanic, but with me, I really enjoy this guy very much. In either battle phase, I'm able to counterblast and soul blast, and by doing so, my opponent chooses rearguards to bind for every 3 rearguards on him and my field. And so, say like we both have 3, they bind 2. Even though they come back at the end of the turn, it's really good to stop them from making any plays, defensive wise. And his second effect is that if my opponent has no back rows, it gets 5k. Well, all of my units get 5k. And if my opponent is at a grade 3 or greater, extra 5k. So a 10k, 5k like defensive with his own effect, that's pretty cool. I really like it very much. And for my force markers, I play Force 1. Because since I think this card needs more power than damage compared to the other decks, since it provides enough pressure to do so. Alrighty, now time to get into the details. Now, as I said before, the reason why I play a lot of cards that rely on resource management when it comes to getting cards in my hand is because of this man for the main cause. This boy alone rips so much cards from my hand just by using its effect, and whenever guarding, I do need resources to like help me with that. So I play cards that allow me to draw, and because of that, it helps me perform so much better. And although many of my rearguards are weak in effect wise when it comes to power, I can thank with my Dragonic Lawkeeper for that. And although Dragonic Lawkeeper has a restriction where my opponent needs to have no cards on the field, since this is a Kagero deck, almost every card with a retirement ability can finish that off for me. So like, even though Lawkeeper works in both turn when it comes to binding, why would I need to do that when I could just permanently get rid of stuff, right? And yeah, it may look like a lot of grade 3s I'm playing, but like it's giving the Dimension Police treatment where they play more grade 3s because it just works well with each other. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would explain more about the other rear guards, but they're pretty much just face value. They're meant for like killing themselves when being drawn, or like being used to like retire stuff is pretty much it. I still play more draws triggers so that I can get stuff in my hand, but 6 is a good amount. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else I need to say?
It's actually pretty good for if you have any other info for them for the deck.
Well, my advice when it comes to Kageros is that, you know, you can really get creative with this guy. You know, he is the card that got shitted on by others for being the worst card in Volume 1. But now, since more cards kept coming out, this man is like very valuable now. So I'm just like, haha, I got him for what, 50 cents? Everybody's getting him for like $5 or something. Would I get an SP of him? Yes. If I had the money? Yes. Otherwise, just be careful of your resource management. Don't really try to go like Beyblade with your hand when it comes to discarding. And yeah, I think you should be comfortable with this deck when it comes to cards in your hands. And that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So hope to see you guys in the next video. See you on the next one.